I do want to talk with you real quickly about the Reverend Billy Graham, of course, what he's meant to you and to your Christian faith and to you personally. What's your earliest memory of Dr. Graham?
My earliest memory, of course, growing up in a preacher's home, was watching Dr. Graham on television. So we would watch his specials and always be inspired. And, you know, it's just, you know, looking back now, never dreaming I would become a minister, it just, you know, he's been a hero to me. And I love the fact that he's made it for the long haul. You know, he's paved the way. He didn't get off course. He just kept doing what he felt like God called him to do. And really, he's made it easier on ministers like myself, younger ministers.
In an interview you did with Larry King all the way back in 2005, you said one of the lessons that you've learned from Billy Graham is that he managed to stay on message and not get sidetracked all those years. How's that going for you?
Yeah, you know what, I feel like I've done good to this point too. I just stay filled with, stay on my message of hope, and I'm not involved in politics and things as that. And you know, there's a lot of other opportunities to do things, but I come back and say, you know what, I don't feel like that's my main calling to do that. And so a lot of things we've turned down, but you know, just very inspired from his life.
Now, of course, when Billy Graham got on TV back in the 40s, it was a different time and a different place. But nowadays, you know, a guy like you can get on the internet and have access to millions of people, and a lot of preachers are doing that. But what do you think distinguishes a guy like yourself who is able to kind of break through the barrier and attract more people from other preachers who are not able to have as much success in the electronic media world?
You know, I don't know what it is. You know, I think there's just different personalities and different messages, and you know, not everybody has a desire to be on, nor is everybody probably called to be on television. So I don't know. There's a lot of fantastic ministers that aren't on television. So I just feel like, you know, this is sort of following in my father's footsteps. He was on broadcast as well, so I don't know what it is.
You don't know? You can't put your finger on it?
No, because there's other fantastic ministers. I think a lot of it is just, you know, I call it God's favor. I think some of it is I'm reaping seeds that my parents have sown. 40 years there in Houston, just taking care of people, doing the funerals, visiting the hospitals. I mean, I started with the base, you know, 40 years down the road. When I was 36, you know, my dad had a big church already built, so I started ahead of a lot of people in that sense. So, but that's just the, you know, I just say it's the blessing of God. It's like the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It just kept getting passed down. So that's why I don't try to, you know, I certainly don't take credit for it all. It's God's blessings. It's my parents and other things.
You know, I'm guilty of this, and I'm not the only one, though, but a lot of people have compared you to Billy Graham. You know, is that daunting for you? What's that like?
You know, it just always feels very honoring. I know there'll only be one Billy Graham, and it's, you know, I see it, I know what they're saying. I just take it as very much of an honor because he's, you know, like I said, he's been a hero and somebody that we all celebrate.
All right, Joel Osteen, thanks so much for sharing your thoughts and insight on the Reverend Billy Graham.
My pleasure. Thank you.